Hi everybody, it's Sunday, I think it's the 6th. Happy Sunday. Hope you guys are having as beautiful weather as I am here in Delaware. This is Kate at My Wayfaring Dreams, and today we're going to plant some Impatients. Give a little quick scan of the garden here. A week ago I had all these weeds out, but Delaware weather is neither forgiving nor accommodating, and we were having, until last week, we couldn't even get out of the 60s during the day. And then it decided it was going to rain all week, and we had some really cool nights. And this weekend, we had 93 yesterday, and I think 96 today, which is not my favorite temperature to be out in the garden, but I got to do what I got to do. So you can see that these lovely, I can't think of the name of them right now, but they're a deep wine Asiatic lily are fixing to bloom. Here's some more. So around them, I am going to plant Impatiens because this area gets enough shade during the day. Impatiens are beautiful. I love planting them. They bloom all summer and they get really big and they're showy, but they cannot stand a lot of direct sun. So they're more of a shade plant, but I do like them to get a few hours of sun. So they get a little bit here, but our trees have gotten so large that, like right now, it's, look at trusty Timex. That's funny because it stopped. This watch never stops. Maybe it just finally needs a battery. But it's probably sometime after 2 o'clock, around 2 o'clock. So I've been watching the sun so I can determine where it is at certain parts of the day and what I can plant where. So anyway, I'm going to set this down here and see where I'm planting. Any brands or labels you see just happen to be my preference. It's nothing that I'm sponsored or asked to advertise. So if you like this button, please hit the like button. Share it with your friends. Hit the bell and subscribe. So I have to be really careful taking out any of the weeds in this area. I've already used my Fisker's tool and gotten all the dandelions out, and that was easy. So I have to be careful because I have a lot of bulbs through here. So I'm carefully pulling what weeds are left, which are little inconsequential things that are going to come right back in a week or less. But that way I can, with the hand trowel, I can feel when I'm going to dig a hole to plant one of these flowers. I can feel if I'm coming up to any bulbs. I'm going to try to shoot for between them, but if you know anything about how bulbs spread. So I've got some soil and some compost mixed already, and I'm going to build up the soil. So I probably won't dig the holes as deep as it recommends. And then I will, I don't know if you want to call it backfilling or whatever, I'm going to build up around it with my compost and soil. Just because I don't want to go too deep and I don't want to slice into any bulbs. Though right now at this time of year, what's mostly spreading out from your main bulb is little ones. And a lot of times those little ones are just inert. They don't ever reproduce. They don't ever get bigger. So sometimes you just get, kind of little dead bulbs. These have almost, some of them I may tear off part of the way, but I don't want to pull them out because at the end of, well, that one I did, that was successful. There's a bulb, and sometimes if you don't pull it out or get it off just right, you'll yank that bulb out of the ground, and that's not good. But it's turning out these are more dead than I thought they would be. Which, this is kind of late in the season for me, still dealing with the tops of tulips, but like I said, Delaware weather just doesn't always cooperate with what I want it to do. Though I tell it to do what I want it to do, it just does not. And I can't always trust our forecast because down here in southern Delaware, all of our forecasts and weather comes out of Maryland. Ouch! Oh, dangerous, dangerous. This is a dried leaf from the holly tree. And though I have my gloves on, it just poked the crap out of me in the top of one of my fingers. Can't do anything about them. I'm sitting on a stool. Oops. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing. My hand show. Oops. Okay. Anyhow, so I'm just going through here with the little hand tools and roughing up the soil, pulling out any, you can see it's little weeds. See if I can look. These are doing a little better. Every now and then I'll find a bulb towards the top of the ground or on it, and I think that's where sometimes those little rascally squirrels are. That's the only thing I can think of probably that come over and try to have a little bulb snack. I don't usually lose too many bulbs to them, so I guess the bulbs probably don't taste that great. Not as good as peanuts and bird seed. And pretty much anything green that's still laying on here has already been pulled out. I'm not going to sweat it. The first year when I made this garden and took it from nothing but thick years and years of grass to a flower bed, I spent hours and days upon days out here when it was cold, bundled up, pulling every weed by hand. Because there's so many in such a variety. And I think years and years ago there was a tree in this circle. It's been taken out and there's no stump or anything, but every now and then I find a weird, long, pretty strong root down underneath, especially if I'm like digging a hole for something bigger. And I don't think there's any way to get rid of it unless, you know, I really damage the soil with chemicals, and I certainly don't like to do that. Alright, so like I might have said in a previous video, a lot of times these bedding plants, they have a little tag in them and they tell you this is the spacing and this is the height and all that. Well, yeah, that's the by the book way to do it, but I don't always do stuff like that by the book. I tend to space them closer because I would rather have just a big wall of color than the space in between them. Like where I did my begonias the other day. They'll get pretty big and wide, but as they get a little bigger, if they're not filling in close enough, I'll sneak something of a different color or something, another one in there. So I went to our little local Ace to get some flowers yesterday. Just because this time of year on a weekend, you certainly don't want to drive down to the beach and go to Lowe's or Home Depot, and some of the garden centers right now are just really so super expensive. But Ace didn't have a very good selection. I'm very disappointed in ours. I almost stopped at a bigger one the other day in a different town when I was coming back from the doctor's office, and I should have. But I was hungry and I had to pee, and you know, certain things took priority over shopping. So, you know, I really don't like shopping. I don't mind online shopping, but I hate shopping. I love shopping for flowers. Yeah, that's not like a conundrum. So where is my trowel? Of course, I picked it up a while ago and put it right back down where I found it, and not where I need it. Or did I? Let's see. Yep, here it is. It's in the bag. See, this is one of those little bulbs that's kind of at the surface. Little thing, see it here? And I'm just not going to worry about it. I'm going to put it back here in a spot. If it comes up, it does. If it doesn't, I've got enough tulips in here. And I'm not sure how long tulips last. I mean, these that have been blooming around the edge of the ring have been blooming for about, this is probably their 5th or 6th year. So we'll see. Tulip bulbs are easy, you know, in the fall they go on sale. It's the planting time for them. So most of the bulbs in this area are my big red parade, and they're pretty deep, so I'm not too worried about messing them up. Like I said, as I put the trowel in, I'll see what I feel. And see here, I've accidentally dug up one and I haven't even got very deep. And that is, again, I don't know if it's probably partial erosion issue. And sometimes though they've been planted 5 to 6 inches deep. Those little newbies start coming up above. So I have so much sweat running in my eyes right now. Like I said, this is hotter than I usually like to be out here. And I typically tie a bandana around my head to absorb the massive amounts of head sweat I produce. But I've noticed that makes me hotter. But I don't know why. I mean, I've always been someone who perspired in a healthy manner. And I can't blame it on menopause because I think I'm finished with that. But damned if I don't sweat from my head. Even though doing housework, I'll end up blinding myself. I can't see because of salt in my eyes. Maybe I should have less salt in my sweat. As if. Alright, so this is a little bit of leftover Miracle-Gro, a bag I didn't quite empty. That set out in the rain. But I've mixed some of my mushroom compost with it. Oh my gosh. Here's another bulb. I don't know why there are so many so high. Oh my god, I moved this like an idiot. Okay. So here I am, found another bulb. This one, I have a pot back here I'm going to plant some flowers in. And I'm just going to bury it down in there. Like I said, I don't know why sometimes these that are sprouting from bulbs that are very deep are so shallow. I guess I could probably Google it or research into it or ask a bulb person. Wait, I'm the bulb person. But anyhow, so we've got the soil here and the compost. I'm just going to rough it into the top part of the soil here. It's about 2 to 1 soil to compost. Like I said, this wasn't a lot. It was probably the bottom, not even a quarter of a bag that I didn't finish, but opened a new bag. Yeah. Yes, I do that. And I just realized I found it underneath my wheelbarrow. So, all right. Taking off these damn sunglasses. Having a sip of my Dr. Pepper. I really do need to adjust this. So my doctor lectured me about drinking Dr. Pepper Zero. He said, it's horrible, horrible, horrible bad. And Paul the other day, bless his heart, got me regular Dr. Pepper. So, you know, I love him all the more for that. Nothing says best friend more than indulging your horrible, horrible soda habit. You know, but a girl's gotta do what a girl's gotta do sometimes. And I'm gardening in my old nursing clogs because they're easy on my heel. My plantar fasciitis, my doctor thinks more is a tendinitis and involving my Achilles. Some days it's pretty good, other days it flares up. So I'm going to break down and go to the foot and ankle doctor. I know he thinks, my primary care doctor, who, not that I have the most faith in him, thinks that leg being a little bit longer than the other and me being heavier than I normally am, I'm just the way I'm walking on it and putting weight. I don't pronate or supinate, which a lot of people with high arches do, but oh my god, like a little tiny wee baby bulb. I'll throw it out in the yard. Maybe I'll have a tulip pop up there one year. So I like to really mix up the colors, but I don't know. I think I'll just put, I've got 2 4-packs of that color, which is the coral, and 2 4-packs of this purple. I had hoping to get the red ones, and I didn't see them till after I was in checkout, so I was like, what the heck with it. I like to put colors that are going to look great next to this burgundy, but this doesn't last all summer, and these do. Oh my goodness. Let's see if we can get in to see this dragonfly. Oh, he flew away. I get visits from lots of dragonflies, and they land really close and have little chats with them, and then they fly off. But I think I'm going to do every other here, just for shits and giggles. I've also got some celosia, some orange celosia, and some more yellow Antigua marigolds, which they like sun, more sun than these do, so I'm probably going to put them on the other side of the garden. And though I keep telling Paul he needs to, he hasn't yet, we have got to trim down this clump of trees. I know I've mentioned it. And look at it, it's beautiful. It was an old stump where he had a tree cut down. They didn't take the stump out or kill it. So it has all these little, well, it's got a full-size tree in it, but now it's got all these little small ones. And it's great because it's by my hydrangeas and they like the shade, but it's horrible in the fact that sometimes it shades the garden when I don't want it to. But I think this, my big crazy oak at the street's probably doing that more, but it's just so, that one has such character and so pretty. I just don't want to take it out. But it probably could stand to be trimmed. That'd probably make it healthier. And see, our ace, even when plants are almost dead or root bound, or they don't ever discount them. You know, they'd rather throw them away than, you know, mark them off. Which is early in the season, but that's pretty damn root bound. So I usually leave them in the little pod. People have different ways of doing it. I usually mash the bottom, kind of spread it out, fan it out, and give those roots just unbind them a little bit. And so I got some clay down in the soil, which is not too bad. And Impatiens are pretty tough when it comes to soil quality. But there we go. But you want them, that's why I mix some regular soil and some compost in, and that's what I end up filling the rest of the hole with. And then whatever I dug out of the hole, I'll just mix in with the rest of the dirt. That way, okay, something hard there, I think it's a bulb. Okay. Free spot here. So yeah, you can kind of feel, that's what I'm using. Paul's bought me all kinds of really nice tools, and the nice ones with the wood handles that have these specialized comfort grips. I've bent those and wore those out faster than anything. This pair I've had for like 10 years. I don't know where the trowel's at. I got them at the dollar store one time on a whim, and they're like heavy steel and ugly and plastic, but man, they have lasted almost 10 years. And then one day I was helping someone else plant, and I was on the way to their house and realized I didn't bring my own tools, so I stopped and got some plastic ones. Really cheap. I think it was maybe $1.50 for this and the thing. And it's turned out that when I'm digging around these bulbs, I like that better because it's not as sharp, and it kind of makes a dull thud feeling or sound when you hit the bulb. It's kind of hard to explain it, but so let's get some of the old soil out. Put some nice new compost soil in here, and these will get, right now I'd say they're probably 3 inches, 4 inches maybe 4 inches tall, and they'll triple that if not more. I've had pots of them be like 18 inches tall, and just, you can't even see the pot they're in. It's super full. There's probably pictures somewhere in my Facebook posted somewhere. Huge pots full of Impatiens, and they're not real big pots. They just happen, Impatiens grow really well here. Or like everyone likes to say, it's my green thumb. But if I wasn't talking to you on camera, I'd be talking to these little flowers or any of the bees that buzz around me. And for one, because, well, I live in pretty much isolation, so I don't really have people to talk to, and I just like talking to things. It's cathartic. Helps me organize my thoughts. Okay. So as you can see, these are much closer together than let's see what the card says. It says, plant in part sun or shade, 8 to 10 inches apart, grows up to 15 to 20 inches tall. Yeah, there's no 8 to 10 inches there. Probably 5, maybe 6 at the most, but not even that. But this will make a big mound of continuous color. And I guess if you want to do, like you see organized in some towns or people's garden where everything is all lined up in a perfect line, perfectly spaced, and what you see between all the flowers is just dirt or nothing missing. That's just not my thing. I like to have a nice mound of color. See, I'm right beside a bulb here. I can see it, and I felt it, so I didn't hit it. And as these are just annuals, they're not going to take anything from the bulb. They'll die out once the cold weather gets here, and the bulbs will be none the worse for wear. They'll probably be happier because they'll end up getting more food as I feed things. And so I'm not going to put a big separation between the colors so that the colors will eventually just be mounted together. I'm trying to stay about 12 inches away from these lily because they will get a little bit taller, not a lot, but they make such big bloom heads that they're going to add some shade. And I don't want, which is not an issue, the shade really, but I don't want them to cover up being able to see these. All right. So anyhow, so I'm gonna go to the foot and ankle doctor. I may need an insert, you know, to even out my height, because of course my insurance doesn't want to pay for a chiropractor. And so hopefully that will help with this tendon thing or whatever. It's not that I don't have a problem with doctors. I don't know, kind of an old school nature. It's just kind of my personality and my nature to try to take care of it myself. I mean, I grew up with a mom. She didn't rush us to the doctor for every stupid tiny little thing. If she could take care of it, she took care of it. So thus we all have really good immune systems, and we weren't overloaded with antibiotics we didn't need just in case we had an infection and all that kind of crap that you see with a lot of the younger generations. But so, you know, and I think that made us healthier. We didn't build up any resistances. We were exposed, you know, we built antibodies to just about everything because, you know, we just were out in it. We got dirt in our mouths, and back before everybody was EPA conscious, I can remember before they were mandatory to have catalytic converters. Yeah, I'm that old. But we're all healthy, none of us have issues. And I think part of it is just kind of the way we grew up. You never wanted to be inside. When I was a kid, games didn't come out till I was in high school, really, where you could sit at home and play them. The first Nintendo came out after I was out of high school. So, as adults, we kind of got more into it, but as a kid, you couldn't keep us inside. There's times my mom would get up on a Saturday or Sunday and we'd be nowhere in sight. Maybe we left a note. She knew we'd be home for food because, you know, that was always a given. We didn't ever worry about being kidnapped or picked up or dangers, you know. And there were no cell phones, you know. We'd go to adults for help if we needed to use a payphone. And she always said we were so rotten, no one would want to kidnap us anyway. She used to say if they did kidnap us, they'd bring us back and give her a bill because we were such expensive little piglets. I always thought that was hilarious. But anyway, that's what we're doing. So I've got another 4-pack of each color, and then I'm going to take a break and cool off, and then probably come back later, or maybe tackle it in the morning and tackle some more weeds. But it's been nice having a chat with you guys. Hope you enjoyed the impatient planting. And I think I'm going to run out of room down here, so I may only be able to get this 4-pack here, and then this other 4-pack of purple I may just intersperse in different places. You never know. But on that note, I'm going to say bye. Oh, my fountain stopped producing, but I put a little fountain in my bird feeder. Let's see if we can see it. And the problem is, my bird feeder's not super deep. It was a whim by impulse, but the wind, keeps blowing the fountain water out of the bird bath. And so I have to keep refilling the bird bath. And normally the bird bath does not go empty. But if the wind's coming out of the west, it moves this little disc. It's solar powered, And see, it makes it blow the water out. Maybe I'll find a way to anchor it so it, put a rock so it can't move. That's a good idea. I just thought of that. Putting something in the middle to keep it from moving. But anyway, you guys have a great weekend. Enjoy the sun. Hope you're enjoying your summer. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. This is Kate. Bye.